Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of Mitch the Taxman Business Show. We're going to be running weekly shows where I'll be joined by special guests from successful business owners, partners, directors, and we'll be sharing some business tips, discussing the latest news and of course discussing tax. Today, in the first episode, I'm delighted to be joined by none other than Adam Rice.
Thank you very much.
Adam is the former managing director of the Internet Group, and he grew this from himself to having 100 staff, and earlier last year he sold the company. So Adam, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
And welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Very excited for the show. And just to say, if anyone wants to comment or ask the questions to myself or Adam, just comment on the video below and let us know you've joined us. So Adam, let's go straight into it. The Internet Group, obviously massive success. You started it when you were still at school. So
yeah, that's right.
Let's just talk about that and how it was running a company when you were at school.
It was very difficult. I was 17 when I started, and it was very difficult. We had to, obviously go to school in the morning, be at school in the afternoon, rush back from school to the office, do the work, and then do my homework, and then back to school the next day. It was hard.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds it. So going from school out of school, how did you manage to grow the business? What were the key stages of your growth?
So when I first started the company, it really was just me, and I was doing everything from actually doing the work, going to companies during the day, doing some IT work for them, and then in the evening I was doing all the admin, so all the invoicing, chasing money. It really was a 24/7 job.
Sorry, yeah.
So that's how it kind of started, and then from there, really it kind of grew. I remember us taking on our first member of staff, and really it just grew from there. And really the key to our success was doing acquisitions.
Okay, so talk to me about these acquisitions. How did you go about finding the right companies for you to acquire? Did you use an agent? Did you do the research yourself?
Yeah, I mean the first couple of deals we did were very small. They had a couple of contracts each, and we were able to negotiate a very good deal because those business owners kind of felt that they'd reached the end of what they could do in their business alone, and they wanted to consolidate with another company, one that was bigger, had more processes. So the first deals were very small, but it allowed us to kind of bring on new contracts quite quickly, and that's really how we grew. But we did all the research ourselves at the time for the smaller ones, and then as the business grew and grew and grew, we used an agent to kind of find those opportunities for us.
Okay, cool. So I know a big part of TIG was the telesales process, and I mean how much in terms of stuff coming in did the telesales equate to?
Yeah, well, I mean telesales was a massive piece of our business. Certainly the last few years of the company, we had about 15 telesales people, and they were generating leads for us all the time. So they were calling out day in, day out. Very difficult job. I had a lot of respect for them. And basically they would call out databases that we purchased and book meetings for our sales team, and it worked really, really well. I think it's more difficult these days with telesales because it's very difficult, especially in the IT sector, to differentiate yourself. And that's something that is more of a problem these days because the market is so saturated. But certainly we found that telesales and outbound calling, outbound marketing was really the way that we were able to achieve what we did.
Okay, and just touching upon the whole telesales, I mean, how often were you reviewing the script?
Regularly. I mean, we were lucky enough to build the business to a size where we had a telesales manager, a telesales team, we had a sales team as well, a marketing team. It got very big, but at the beginning we were checking the script, reviewing it, making changes. We got a lot of feedback from our staff and we listened to calls and made sure that we were doing regular training. All of that is really important. And you know, we had the key though to any kind of telesales or marketing campaign is trying to work out why, in the customer's eyes, you feel that you're different. You know, because you know these people we were speaking to had probably had 10 calls that week from someone else talking about IT services, and then able to get a meeting and get that booking. You had to say something that was different to the last 10 calls they just had.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at who's joining us today. So we've got Barry, who's liked us. Hi Barry,
Hi,
thanks
Barry.
for joining. Andrea, don't know who you are, but thanks for liking. And guys, let us know you're here. Give us a wave, give us a comment.
There are more than 2 people, aren't there?
Yeah, well at the moment there's 10 viewers at the moment.
Thank God for that.
Well, it's dropped down to 8.
Okay.
But,
I'll stop talking.
yeah, guys, keep. Actually, I don't think that one's live actually, but yeah, if you've got any questions on things we're touching upon, especially the things like telesales, then comment on the box below, and Adam will answer them. So just moving on from there. Obviously, you grew the company, and what would you say was the biggest challenge that you had at TIG?
Oh, we had a lot of challenges. It wasn't easy, but I mean I think that really any business that reaches the kind of threshold where they are employing lots and lots of staff are always a challenge. You know, it's always a challenge. There's always HR issues. There's always you know, issues with that, and I think that. You know, we were very lucky towards the end. We had a very strong HR team who were very good and did that. But you know, when you're constantly recruiting people, you've got to pray that they work out, that they're the right people, that you've asked them the right questions in the interviews, that you're reviewing them, helping them. They know that you know they're progressing. You know, that's a lot of work, and we took a lot of time to make sure that. You know, we were looking after our staff, and you know, we had staff even after when I sold the business. There were people who had still been there from pretty much right at the beginning. You know, people had been with us for 10, 15 years, which I think hopefully was a testament to how we treated people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine trying to manage 100 staff. But yeah, there you go. Okay, so just moving on from the staff. And obviously having known you now for a good number of years, you always bang on at me about the importance of recurring revenue.
Absolutely.
And that's how you built the TIG model and then eventually sold it. So just want to say, if there's, you know, and just talk for people out there about who are thinking about starting a business, the importance of recurring revenue and why that is so important.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, recurring revenue is, for me, so important in any business. Certainly now that I sold and been looking for investment opportunities, I typically will only look at investment opportunities that have some form of recurring revenue. And what that basically means is that you sell a contract or you sell some kind of service to a customer, and then that's it. They pay you monthly, quarterly, yearly, whatever, but you don't have to go and sell again and again and again to that person. They're in a contract with you where you're delivering service, and you're billing them on a regular basis. That is recurring revenue because it's obviously recurring. It's so much easier, you know, from a budgeting point of view, a forecasting point of view, and you know, and certainly we had this at TIG, and you know, thankfully we've been able to replicate it at Fusion. You know, on the first day of the month, the direct debits come in. You know your bills are covered. You know the rent's covered. You know, it's just a very good place to be as a business owner. And certainly all the people that I've been speaking to over the last 6-7 months, in terms of business advice, you know, my number one rule has got to be try and find something that you can make into a recurring model. Because you know, if you look at things like cloud services, you know, Fusion's tax services, all of those types of things. You know, on an annuity recurring revenue model, and certainly that's the kind of business that I'd definitely like to be involved in.
Most definitely. So that brings us nicely to looking at who's joining us before we announce our free prize for this show. So we've got Richard Salmon. Hi Richard, nice of you to join us. Ricky D. He's commented nice beard. So I'm assuming he's talking about me.
I think that the iPad's quite far away from you, but yeah.
Yeah, I've modelled it on you, Ricky. So there we go. But actually, topic number 8 is talking about beers. So we'll come on to that. And Anura, thanks for joining.
Hi, Anura.
Anura, who we know well. Hope you're well. He's asked, what's this prize? Okay, so do you want to announce the prize?
I think you can announce the prize.
Okay, I'll announce the prize. So what we've decided to do is that we'll come on to Fusion and the services that we offer now, but part of what Adam does is he goes into companies and gives them business advice. So what we've decided to do is for the best question that's going to be left on our video in the comments section, we are going to give a free 30-minute... That time out?
No, that's okay.
Okay, a free 30-minute business advisory session with Adam.
I'll provide the coffee as well.
Is that flashing up there? Does that mean something?
I don't know. I think it's right.
Okay, can everyone hear us?
Can we get another like or a comment if you can hear us?
Okay, and Noah says, hey, hopefully everyone's still there. So yeah, free 30-minute session with Adam for the best questions. So let's get some good questions here, business or tax. Let's just skip into tax very quickly whilst we're talking about the success of TIG. So how many companies in Panama?
Well, we did pay tax.
Yeah.
That was one of the things we did pay tax. But that's actually a very good point, because one of the things that we used on the tax side, which was very good, is R&D tax credits. I don't know if anyone who's viewing has heard about that, but we actually got back a lot of money from the government. Makes a change for doing research and development, that's something we're obviously Mitch the Taxman, you should know quite a lot about.
Yeah, exactly. It's R&D is something that not a lot of businesses are aware of. It's a tax relief used for something innovative, something a new project, an app maybe, where you could get a corporation tax deduction for the qualifying expenditure that will often results in actually a repayment of tax. So
well, I can tell you, over probably 10 years, I think we got back nearly £500,000 from the government. It was quite a big thing.
Nice, very nice. Okay, so what we've touched upon TIG, and then you exited this year. Anything else you want to touch upon TIG before we move on? Or
No, not really. I just think that it's probably worth saying that the IT sector is one of the fastest moving sectors that you can be in, and those of you who either are involved in IT or keep an eye on the news, there's so much out there at the moment in terms of security and cloud. Everyone's heard of cloud now. It's a very interesting space, and one that obviously I'd like to stay involved in.
Yeah. Well, we'll come on to that. We'll come on to the whole IT. So. Successfully sold and came out of TIG earlier last year, and now you're co-founder of an amazing company called Fusion Consulting.
Yeah, you're not biased, obviously.
No, not biased. Okay, so let's go straight into it. Let's explain what is Fusion.
What is Fusion? Okay, we've been working on our kind of elevator pitch, haven't we, the last few days?
Threw you in there.
So basically, Fusion is a boutique, modern advisory consulting company. People get a bit worried when you say consulting. It sounds expensive. It doesn't have to be. We're a modern boutique advisory company focusing on the kind of 4 key areas that we've chosen. Tax, which is quite good, as we have Mitch the Taxman here.
Yeah.
Not beard advice. We also
male
do
grooming.
Male grooming. Yeah. Facial only. We do tax, obviously. We do social media. Again, Mitch the Taxman, hashtag @Mitch the Taxman. And then we do, what else do we do? We do business advisory, which I guess is what I've been doing, and some strategic IT consulting advisory as well. Those are our kind of 4 key pillars. And we look after, what do we look after? Everyone, and so many different types of businesses and individuals. Really there's no real niche. It's anyone who we can add value to, really.
Yeah. Okay, can you see all the comments there?
I can.
Is there any new ones?
My eyesight is not that good, unfortunately, but
Okay, just think what
we can do. Let's have a
yeah,
look.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. So we've got Richard Salmon.
Yeah.
You say nice beard.
Yeah,
Anura,
okay.
what's the prize? Hey, Richard Salmon, you are back. Anura,
Yeah.
it's buffering a little. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I think we should
I think
get
we're
a
back
discount
now,
for the
yeah.
internet connection here. But anyway.
Yeah, I think we're back now, guys. Please leave your questions, leave your comments. Let us know you're here. Remember, free prize with Adam. 30 minutes business advisory sessions for any business owners there is really going to be of benefit. Now, I mean, from going into business with Adam, I've learned a lot already, but certainly we set up within the space of 2 or 3 days. We were literally there, ready to go, and I learned the importance of systems. I mean, Adam makes it really look easy, and what we've been doing for some clients is explaining the importance of having a CRM, setting up various systems around Pipedrive. So do you just want to talk a bit about that for a business owner, the importance of a CRM and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that I found was very important is being able to understand very easily as a business owner if things are going well or if things are going badly. I hate surprises. So, you know, if, again, going back to my TIG days, you know, if we were having a bad month, which happened occasionally, I'd want to know very early on, and so we could do something about it. So one of the things we've done is set up a lot of systems, and now it's so much easier. Everything's cloud-based. You don't need to spend lots of money on servers and other bits and pieces. It's very, very easy. Type in your credit card and you're live, basically. So we set up a number of systems, and we did it firstly for ourselves, and now we've been able to do it for quite a number of our customers. So that's things like CRM, which deals with opportunities. So you know, when Mitch and I go out and see people, we record all their details in a CRM system. We use a product called Pipedrive. You can have a look at it online, pipedrive.com. We then use a system which some of you may have heard of called Xero, Xero, which is a great accounting system to do invoices and collecting money, managing the bank account, all of that kind of thing. And we use some other systems as well for marketing, email shots. Some of you may receive our newsletters and other bulletins quite regularly. We do that using MailChimp and some other software. But you know, the best thing really is that these days this doesn't have to be very expensive. You know, 5-10 years ago, you'd be spending tens and tens and tens of thousands of pounds to portray a professional image, whereas now it's a lot cheaper, which is really good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And let's I guess talk about the tax side, because obviously we're on Mitch the tax man. So
absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about tax. So we've obviously got we've got a great package for self-assessment. Where we charge a flat fee for our bronze of £45, and we felt it was very important for our client to offer a monthly retainer, so they knew where they stood, reasonable fixed fee, and we also include tax investigation insurance, which is you know, very relevant with today's going on. Where we do a lot of, I guess, tax advisory is on the property sector. And we're getting a lot of inquiries around property. Should I purchase it for a company now? Should I keep it? And what should I do? And I think, you know, from my point of view, obviously it really depends on everyone's situation. A lot of people are now purchasing property through a limited company because they don't necessarily need to take the money out, so they can still offset the mortgage interest through that at the moment, whereas for high rate taxpayers moving forward, they won't be able to offset fully their mortgage interest, so that's proving a bit of an issue to buy to let. But in terms of entrepreneurs and people setting up businesses, was tax when you were setting up and structuring a big part of your planning? Was that fundamental as how best you would structure your affairs and your business?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I think that unfortunately I probably didn't get enough advice when I first set up the company. We went through a number of restructures over the years really, to make sure that we had the right structure, because eventually we knew we were going to sell the company. We knew that quite early on, but it was a case of probably I could have got better advice. I wasn't dealing with you at that point. Obviously, if I would have done it, it would have been perfect. But certainly, we did take advice, and we did certain things to mitigate tax. But really, where I became very involved in the tax situation was obviously on my exit. And thank you very much for your help with that.
Yeah, no problem. So, again, touching on tax and startups, people looking to raise funds or exit, we're doing collectively a lot of work around companies looking to raise money.
Yeah.
And so I may get involved in registering the company for SEIS or EIS, which is a really important tax relief where anyone or any startups looking to raise money and anyone at a further stage. And the SEIS is available to any company that's been incorporated for under 2 years. They can raise up to 150,000, and the investor will obtain 50% income tax relief on the investment, which is huge. From the startup companies that we've seen, what do you think are the major problems that they're facing when they've approached us, and issues that they've been having?
Okay, so I think that most of the companies that we've seen over the last 6 months or so have been in a position where they're looking to raise money and they're not quite sure where to go. It's been very daunting for them. I think what they've asked us to do in most cases is look at how best they can achieve raising money, how best they can raise money, how best they can present themselves and negotiate the best deal, and that kind of thing, and making sure also that the investors that they're going going to raise money are the right investors for them. There's many different types of investors, and you've got to make sure you find the right type with the right background who hopefully can add more value than just the cash.
Yeah, and I think from what I've found over the past couple of years in terms of applying for this relief with HMRC is that they're getting a lot more strict with the application. Before, you used to put through a nice application, your business plan, articles, the investor's deck, what you do with the money, and no questions would be asked, certainly in terms of getting the company registered from an SEIS point of view. But now they want to know a lot more information, they're asking questions, and it's becoming tougher. So you need a great business plan, you need the numbers, and you need a great investor's deck proposal, so HMRC can consider that. That's something certainly that we've been helping with. So let's sorry, Adam. Let's just see who's joining us here. So we've got a few more likes. So Danielle Miller, husband of Tom Miller. Thanks for liking and joining in. Nitesh, hope you're well, mate. Look forward to seeing you at PBN sometime soon. Who else do we have that's liked? Ilan. Hi, Ilan. I'm sure you'll be getting in touch. And keep asking any more comments because I can't quite see.
There are. A sec.
A few more comments. Anything?
Okay, yeah, Richard Salmon.
Yeah,
here we go.
What's he saying?
Do you think social media is important for gaining more business? Should it work for everyone?
He really wants the 30 minutes, don't you? Well, you're only going to get it if you score a hat-trick on Sunday. So we'll see that. Yeah, I mean, social media is really important. In terms of getting new business, you need a good strategy. I think from what we've found, if you just go in with social media with no advertising strategy, then you need to work a lot harder in terms of the number of tweets or on Twitter, or the number of posts you're putting on Facebook, and you really need to work hard to generate the user engagement. Going onto social media without advertising really entails a really good strategy, and the content is going to be key. And with everything in social media, it's about the consistency. You need a consistent approach every day. But the most important thing is getting that user engagement. And I think over time, it certainly will generate business, but of course it depends on what industry you're in, and then there'll be a different approach to it if you're more professional.
But if you take us as the example, I mean, we get leads from social media, nearly every day.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're two different professionals coming from two different backgrounds, and we've built it up over a number of years. So we get introductions and referrals from LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, questions all the time. So it certainly does work, and but you need a strategy. But thanks for the question, very kind. What else have we got there, Adam?
I think we've got some more here. Yeah. 1 second. Ilan says hi, guys. Hi, Ilan.
Ilan, good to see you.
Okay, we've got another one here from Josh. Josh says, what do I need to do to get SEIS?
Well, thanks, Josh. First and foremost, you've got to email me, mitch@fusionconsult.co.uk, and we can help you. But I'm assuming you're talking about for your company, I guess.
Well, listen, from an investor's point of view, who wouldn't want to get an investment for 50%? But yeah, I guess probably he's talking from a company.
From a company, you need to go through the registration with HMRC, known as Advanced Assurance, and it's a 2-page form that you need to complete, and with accompanying documentation. So you need your business plan, you need, as I said, the investor's deck, investor's proposal, i.e. what you're showing to investors who want to put into the company. You need your articles of association, and a couple of other things. But we have a very good relationship with the specific department and officers at HMRC, so we send it out with a covering letter and can advise you on that. In terms of, you're flipping it round, in terms of the investing side, you need to ensure that first and foremost the company's registered for SEIS, and then you would get a certificate once you've invested the money, and then you would claim the SEIS relief on your next tax return, or depending on your tax situation, you can carry it back to a previous year. It may be more tax efficient to do that. Either way, feel free to get in touch with us. My email, mitch@fusionconsult.co.uk. You've got Mitch Taxman website. We've made it very easy. Thanks for the question. Great one. Guys, keep them coming.
There's another one. Okay, this is from Daniel Thompson. Can you help me not pay as much tax? You must get that a lot.
Yeah, all the time. Potentially, Daniel.
Tax evasion's legal or illegal?
No, tax evasion's illegal.
Oh, I always get that wrong. I always get it the wrong way around.
Yeah, tax avoidance is a legal one. Yeah, look, we can look at your affairs and give you some good advice. Can't promise anything. And in today's world...
Disclaimer underneath, disclaimer coming across the side.
Yeah.
We'll have to invest in a disclaimer machine for the next time.
Is this live? Yeah, where are we going? Can't promise it, obviously, in today's world.
Daniel, are you in Panama at the moment?
Yeah, Panama, Switzerland, British Virgin Islands. But yeah, today's world, you've got to be quite conservative. But, we give our clients all the advice available within the legislation where they can be set up as tax efficiently as possible. So, no problem. Keep the questions coming. Keep letting us know you're here. Thanks for joining. Friday evening. I mean, what better things could you be doing on a Friday evening?
I can think of quite a lot, actually.
Okay. Well, you're still contracted here for a bit longer. We've got a bit longer. We'll keep it going for a few more minutes. So what do we want to talk about? Fusion. We've touched upon the tax side. We've touched upon social media a bit. Thanks for the questions. Keep that coming. And business IT. Let's talk a bit about networking. Obviously, I've built my business up on the back of networking, and you've obviously done networking in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, how important do you think going out there and networking face to face, business groups, whatever, is important to the mix?
I think it's fundamental. I mean, we talked before about telesales and telemarketing and email shots and all of that. It's all good, and you should definitely be doing it. We do a lot. But the reality is, the best leads and the best business we've ever done, I think it's fair to say, even though we've only been going 6-7 months, the best deals that we've done have been through word of mouth, referrals, networking, meeting people face to face, sitting down over a coffee and working out what their needs are and how we can deliver them. I don't think you can beat that from a deal origination point of view. I think the reality is these days people buy from people. People have got to trust you. You've got to be a trusted advisor, especially in the stuff that you do. You are a qualified professional. God help us. You are a qualified professional, and the reality is that people have to believe in you and trust you. And I think that the world is moving that way. I think that people want to sit down with you, understand you, look at the whites in your eyes and say, do I trust this person's going to deliver for me? And as I say, they're the best deals that we've done over the last 6-7 months. And I think that really without networking, I know that PBN has been hugely successful for you and for us as Fusion. And I think that those types of events, providing they're done correctly, and I know that some are not done correctly, but if they work well, certainly I think that's where the leads are these days.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. Networking is a fundamental part of any business and their sales strategy. A lot of people look at a weekly networking model, and I would say if you are going to a weekly networking group, you can't just look at the weekly session, the weekly meeting, and just assume that that's going to work for you. You have to really understand the people that are in it and make that extra effort to have the one-to-one meetings at their offices and to really engage with the members of that group rather than just turning up every week. It's a lot of work, but it is worth it, depending that you find the right group and the right people within the group.
But I think it's also important to say that it doesn't always have to be those types of structured events. Like for example, we did our event back in February.
Yeah.
We had over 60 people there across all different sectors, all different business types. People have told me, certainly I'm sure they've told you, that from that event, we're going to be running another one in June. From
invite
only. From that event, people made great connections and they've won business from it. So I don't think it has to be just a PBN or a BNI or one of those. I think it's about just getting in front of people and having the courage to go over and say hello and introduce yourself and all the stuff that people normally find quite awkward. I think. Yeah. I think that's the stuff that actually works the best. But you've got to get out there. People don't close deals from their desk anymore.
No. Networking questions, let's hear them. If you've had any bad networking situations or, you want any tips, ask the questions. They will go towards the free 30-minute session with Adam if we think they're a great question.
There's another question over there.
Okay, yeah, get it going. See the questions, keep them coming.
Okay, so Kathy, great idea, video. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kathy. Good to see you. What Kathy is that?
Kathy Prested.
Okay. Oh, hi, Kathy.
Okay. Yeah. We've got another question here underneath. Anura. Okay, so Anura says, "What's your personal brand?" And then after that, we've got Ilan, who says, "What do you think of Urbano networking?" Urbano networking.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Quick Google.
Quick
Urbano networking.
Quick Google. Anura, my personal brand is Mitch the Taxman, of course, if you don't know.
Your personal brand's your beard?
My beard is part of the Mitch the Taxman,
I think it's time to change your logo.
Yeah, well, we'll work on that. Let's just see what Urbano networking is. Should we know that?
You're the networking man.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that. I can't
Ilan, we'll get back to you about Urbano networking.
We'll get back to you. You're not going to win the prize for that. You're trying to confuse us like that, Ilan.
We've got more questions. How's that? How do I open a Cayman video? Okay. Oh no, Yakov Vetzel Golden. How do I open a Cayman account?
Yeah, hi Yakov. We will have to just stop the live streaming and private message you and come back to that one. But I'll tell you if you keep a clean sheet on Sunday. How about that one? Urbano networking. It looks like it's just another networking group or brand. Ilan, I can't say I've heard of it or certainly haven't been there myself. So we'll do a bit of research on that and come back to you. But keep the questions coming. talk about
Oh,
networking.
sorry, we've got another question.
Another question. Okay.
One sec. Okay, this one's from Joe.
Joe.
Hi, Joe. Right, so
Hi,
you're
Joe.
saying, what do I need to do to use Xero?
Ah, okay. Well,
Yeah, I mentioned Xero before. That's quite important. I have to say, I mean, Xero is a great product. Really, really great product. We spent so much money on, other equivalent products like Sage, and things like that in the past. Xero is really good. Really, really, really simple to use. Anyone can use it. We've set up a number of clients now with Xero, and it's just so easy. And one of the things, we did it for a charity a little while ago, and it basically meant that prior to us going in there and putting in Xero, only their accounts person could raise invoices. Whereas now, the 4 other people who had to write things down on pieces of paper and then take them to the accounts department, now they can raise the invoices themselves. It's cut down a load of time for them. But it's really simple. I mean, there's so many things that it does. Like, you can automate getting your bank statements in.
Yeah.
All your bank statements come automatically in. They get coded. You can send sales invoices. It can do reminders. It can do chasing. You can integrate it in with other systems like the CRM I mentioned before. We've done that. Yeah, access it from your phone. We can do everything from our phone. It's really, really cool. I think we've done a couple of demos now for a few people. So if you want more information on Xero, just let us know, and happy to give you a demo and see if it will help you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Xero is definitely the way forward. We're moving all my clients over to Xero. It's a big saving as well in terms of costings. That's great, guys. Keep saying hello. Keep liking the video. I think we're getting more and more viewers on there. Share it as well.
I can see Gordon's there. Hi, Gordon.
Gordon, good to see you. Thanks for joining. I know you like going off for your beer and seafood on a Friday night, so appreciate you joining in. So I guess where are we heading with Fusion? Where do you see the next few years for us?
That's a good question. Well, I guess really, that we've had so many opportunities present themselves to us over the last 6-7 months that your guess is as good as mine. I don't think when we sat down and worked and decided to do this. I think we knew that we'd have so many opportunities based on our networking and our connections that we weren't too concerned with where things were going, because we were just being presented options every day. I think listen, we're very keen to get involved with businesses who are growing, have got growth challenges, looking to raise money, want to make themselves more efficient. We really feel that there's a lot we can offer based on our backgrounds, and I think that by helping them, by making helping our clients grow, we'll grow as a result. I think that's very important.
Yeah, definitely. Last few minutes, guys. Get your questions in. The best question, which we'll be announcing, will win a free 30-minute business advisory session with Adam.
Don't forget the free Nespresso coffee.
Yeah, well, is that our office? Is it?
That's absolutely yeah. But it depends if you like the green one or the blue one.
You're only getting the blue one.
Oh no, the green
I like the green one.
Yeah,
so.
he drinks the green one, but then he flies home. So
yeah, Nespresso. That was the first thing we bought.
Great investment, actually. Yeah. Great investment. It made us work 40% harder.
Yeah, it definitely keeps us going. And I think from my perspective on the tax landscape, we're seeing. Companies being hit now with the dividend tax changes that have come into force.
That's very painful.
Very painful. Flat rate now of 7.5% for a basic rate, up to the basic rate that you're taking on dividends, and above that 32.5% up to 150, and then above that 38%. So it's going to sting a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses smaller businesses are going to look at some tax planning of some sort. Hopefully it doesn't stay around for too long. I think it was certainly a vote winner for the Conservative Party. But tax is always changing. But we're seeing a lot of people now who are looking to start their business think, well, is it actually worth incorporating still, or should I operate for a sole trader, or if I've got the opportunity to remain as an employed position?
Oh, so we've got another question, Mitch. One sec.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Kathy, I think when people are relaxed and have met a few times, the networking flows as business and dot dot dot.
Okay, so more coming, Kathy, keeping us on the edge. Keeping us on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. It's important going back to networking. It's important for people to feel relaxed when they're networking and speaking. But it all comes down to being experienced with it and learning from it.
What's your kind of magic formula other than a couple of beers?
Yeah, just beer really.
Beer is the magic formula.
Yeah, no, I mean, everyone's different, and myself, yourself, if we're speaking in public, we feel nervous, and it's just about throwing yourself in there, and just realising that everyone is there to help you. Everyone that is in a networking event is there to do the same thing as you. They do not mind if you ask them what they do, what they're looking for, because they're there. It's not like you're going up to someone random on the street. Everyone's there to help and do the same thing as you, and that's what you've got to get into your head, and then it would just flow from there. So yeah, we were talking about tax. We're doing a lot of disclosure work. We work all around the world actually. Have clients in Australia, Israel, USA, Switzerland.
We're getting some new ones in Panama.
South Africa, Panama. We've been inundated recently.
David Cameron called, didn't
inquiries. And there are a lot of disclosure facilities out there. Previously there was Liechtenstein disclosure for offshore, but they've stopped an offshore disclosure facility as of December, and now you can only voluntarily disclose, which is not as great penalties. And I think after this they're going to introduce another campaign or something going on. But what we do a lot of actually is a property let campaign, which again not a lot of people know about, but it's proving really popular, and that's for any landlords who have never disclosed their rental income to HMRC. There's a disclosure campaign called the Property Let Campaign, where you can come forward, disclose your income for however many years, pay any outstanding tax, and agree a reduced penalty of 10 or 20%, and then no further questions asked. So it's a way of bringing your affairs up to date without any further prosecution, getting a reduced penalty, and you can sleep a lot easier. It's been really popular, and we're keen to spread the message of that to help people out there who are scared of HMRC knocking on their door. Because they will knock on your door. No, I'm joking. Keep the questions coming. Last few minutes, get the questions in. Keep liking and sharing. Let us know you're here.
Kathy, I want to hear the rest of your message.
Yeah, Kathy, come on.
And dot 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 dot.
Yeah, keep questions, Kathy. Any networking questions? Who else? Is any more questions on that?
There's another one there. Hold a sec.
Let's see.
Okay. Oh, don't know if there's an issue with it. There's someone called Simon. Okay, Simon's got the dot dot dot. Maybe Simon's trying to help Kathy come up with the rest of her answer.
A bit of bantering going on there from Simon. Yeah, maybe Kathy's had some internet connections there. I know she's based out in Essex, but we're gonna keep running. We've got the go ahead from the editor. Yeah, okay, we've got the go ahead. Can keep running it for another few minutes. We're gonna keep every week. There's going to be a different individual joining us. We'll be talking about their industry and find out the business tips. I really hope you're enjoying it, and we're here to help. So let's just talk. Let's go back to IT. From when you started TIG a number of years ago to now, obviously the IT landscape has well, it's obviously, I mean, I don't know much about IT, but it must have changed.
Massively.
So what I mean, I guess, what are the issues business owners will be facing from an IT perspective in today's world?
Well, I think that it comes down to a couple of things now. The kind of key areas that people look at for IT these days is security. That's number one, and cloud. Moving things to the cloud, helping people move to the cloud, all this kind of thing. We've been involved with some clients lately who have been transitioning all their services to the cloud. Saved them a fortune, absolute fortune. No more big servers in the office, all that kind of thing. We've helped them from a strategic perspective, and people now believe it's taken a while, but people now believe that moving things to the cloud's okay, it's secure. But people are still a bit nervous about how they actually physically move things to the cloud. But there's a number of companies out there who will do that for you. Really, security is the big one. I mean, you hear pretty much every day in the news. You hear someone's been hacked, data's been lost, patient records, all this kind of thing. There's a lot of fear about security, and there's some simple things you can do to kind of help yourself. Although one of the other things, which is quite a new thing lately, is cyber insurance. Insurance companies are trying to get on the bandwagon and say, look, we'll insure you against losing your data, being hacked, all this kind of thing. My advice is that, look, the people who are trying to hack into you, they're cleverer than you are, and the fact is that it's always better to insure yourself against these things. There's an article, I think, on the website that I wrote just about why people would want to hack into your business.
Yeah.
People think that hackers are only interested in hacking into Sony and Barclays and NatWest, this kind of thing. But actually, have a read of the article on the website, fusionconsult.co.uk, in the blog section, because hopefully that will explain a little bit more why everyone should be worried about these things.
Oh, I can see it now. I've got it on my phone.
That's good. Modern technology for you, see.
And Kathy's carried on here.
Oh, good. Thanks, Kathy.
Business is done effortlessly.
Effortlessly. On a Friday afternoon, say effortlessly.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Kate. Any IT questions for Adam? He's here for the next sort of 6-7 minutes. Be good to hear from you. Know what your IT issues are, even as a small business owner, and Adam will answer them. The news at the moment, obviously, Cameron, Panama leaks.
It was only 30 grand, wasn't it?
I mean, what's your opinion on the whole tax avoidance thing? Do you have an issue with tax avoidance? You think it's been blown out of proportion? What's your opinion?
Oh, disclaimer. ... all views expressed on my own and not part of Fusion's. Listen, I think that you've got to be sensible with these things. Everyone wants to minimise their tax bill as much as they can. Obviously, I used to be a client of yours, Mitch. And when we sat down once a year and we looked at my tax position, I'd always say to you, "So come on, what can we do? What can we do?" And you'd say, "Well, these are the things we can do," and I'd say, "Can we do more?" And you'd say no, and then I'd say, "Well, can we really not do more?" And you'd say no, and I'd say, "Okay." So I don't know. Listen, I think that if you're working in the realms of the law and what you're doing is legal, then you're entitled to use the legislation to your advantage and save as much tax as you can. For anyone else out there who sold a business, you'll know, the three terrible words: capital gains tax. Nice problem to have, I guess, but seeing a big bill at the end is not that great. Tax avoidance, I guess, if you're working in the realms of the law, then it's down to you and down to your tax advisor to make sure that you pay the least amount of tax that you can legally, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, tax from when I started, 10, 11 years ago, and I see people investing in film schemes, icebreaker schemes, and doing some real aggressive sort of tax avoidance. That has now totally gone away with the introduction of GAR, loads of anti-avoidance, and obviously the news. People are just being really conservative now. Obviously, there's a few out there who are trying to be aggressive, but we try and steer away from that. Obviously, tax avoidance is legal. We try and do everything in a legal, creative way, but certainly the average client is staying well away of any aggressive tax avoidance, and I think that's only gonna continue. But I do believe actually that I do think it has been a lot of the whole celebrity stories around Jimmy Carr, Gary Barlow have been blown out of proportion to some extent. But there we go. It's not going to go away. Tax avoidance and all these stories of Panama. I think more leaks are going to happen over the next 12 months, whether the government like it or not. Who knows? But it's yeah, we're going to see more and more of that. So so watch your space. Okay, last few minutes, guys. Thanks for joining in, Michelle. Another new like. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining. Hope you liked it. Get your questions in the last few minutes, guys. We'll answer your questions. Just comment on the video at the bottom, and we'll answer your questions. Be it tax, IT, business advice, social media. We haven't touched upon too much. Networking. What else? Beard oil, very popular these days.
If I was to like a match, would you go up and play?
Yeah,
you would.
Yeah, with the beard oil and the aftershave, and the hairspray, and the moisturiser, and whatever else.
How does it take you to get ready in the morning? That's a good topic.
Yeah, it takes me between 20 minutes and half an hour, depending on who I'm seeing that day. So if I'm just coming into the office and it's just you there, then it'd take me about 20 minutes. If I'm going out, it'd probably take me half an hour.
I feel honoured that you spent 20 minutes.
We got any questions? Any more questions coming in?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Maybe everyone's dropped off with a couple of beers and Friday night.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week. I'll let everyone know the day, the time. We're just playing around with a few things, and hope you enjoyed it. Adam, thanks for coming in, spending your time with us. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Fusion Consulting. Fusion Consult is our Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook page. FusionConsult.co.uk is our website. Come and have a chat. Come and like us. Mr. Taxman is obviously me. Have a great weekend.